The ESDEATH buff is actually monstrous, and what I mean by that is it's just like really good. Now, as you can see right here, ascend her, and now she's ascended. Now units, feed, we're gonna feed her everything that we can, and okay, 1,949 is honestly not that bad. Feed that, confirm. Okay, 1,949 is not that bad, but now let's go test her out in Infinite. She became a tank again, by the way, unfortunately. Okay, so we're gonna test her out in Infinite. Okay, E, and let's see. Okay. So again, like I mentioned earlier, she is now a 3 placement unit. Sorry, a 4 placement unit, but is a much cheaper. So she kind of like fits that support sort of archetype now better than ever. Gonna place down a Zeke Beast Giant over there. Oh, and one thing that I want to mention here is that she already does a freeze. Her on placement already does a freeze, which is actually really nice. She does lose that though when you do eventually get to the time stop ability. But she's a very expensive unit. That's one thing that I must say about her. She's super expensive. Alright, so here she is. I'm gonna place her down again right here so that you guys can see her. Now, she does now have freeze on placement and is now cheaper. From 2,500 to place, she is now only 1,500 to place, and she gets a freeze on placement. I don't think her upgrades got any cheaper, but she is a lot more useful now, especially as like a support unit. I think her upgrades are still pretty expensive, but her freeze is actually really good because unlike the other freeze units, she doesn't become bad, or she isn't bad in terms of DPS. She's more like a hybrid between support and DPS, which is one of the good things about her. Alright, so I'm gonna upgrade her even further now. Here is her ability. This is when she gets her ability, which is Mokaha Doma. And this is basically when she turns into a time stopper. Stops all units' movement in range for 4 seconds. Enemies are immune to stun for the next 6 seconds afterwards. If I do that, as you can see, they lose stun, which is kind of crazy. And then what's good about this is you can kind of like place another unit a little bit away from her and then use that ability again. Now you have to wait 6 seconds before they will get affected by this ability again. But in my opinion, 6 seconds is not all that bad. And you can put one of them in auto. Like maybe you could space them out to where it will take 6 seconds for them to reach the other character. Or you could just put them all in auto. But she does lose her freeze ability now, which is unfortunately sad. She does turn a line AoE, and her AoE does become smaller as well after that upgrade. And I think honestly that's fine, because smaller AoE will mean that you'll be able to chain the stuns more. So I don't know about that. But then if you want to still have a freeze, you could just put some more freeze units here and then just not upgrade them to the time stop upgrade. So you could still be pretty effective here. They aren't affected by freeze, or they can be affected by time stop if you freeze them. But the ability does affect even the air units, which is pretty nice. So she really is now excelling, in my opinion, as a support unit, and probably should be used as a support unit. A hybrid support DPS sort of unit, instead of just like a full meta unit or a full meta DPS unit, which is how a lot of people sort of looked at her before. She's still pretty good though. Her max upgrade is giving her 2,745 DPS at only level 43. But again, it's not really her DPS that we're going to be looking at. It's mainly really her ability to stun people and freeze people. She has a stun and a freeze, so that's pretty insanely good.